Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. With me today is City Council Member Stephen Whitburn, City Council Member Joe LaCava, Robin Spencer, a board member with the East Village Association and Residents Group, and Manny Rodriguez, Chair of the Downtown Community Planning Council. We also have Dominic Lamandry with the East Village Association, and Bob Link with the EV Residents Group are also here this morning. Today we're here at the City of San Diego's Central Operations Yard, often known simply by its name, 20th and B. This is where we stage some of the resources that we plan to use. Take a brief pause. 20th and B is where we stage many of the services and equipment that we use to service neighborhoods all across the city. And today, right now, homelessness is our top priority, and it has become a core service of the City of San Diego. It is an all-hands-on-deck moment for our city, and we have transformed this portion of this facility into a place where unsheltered residents can get off of our streets and sidewalks, out of our parks and canyons, and be safe. This is the first of 2 planned safe sleeping sites. This one is able to accommodate 136 tents that the city is providing, tents like the ones you see behind me. Each of these tents has space for up to 2 people so that we can accommodate couples or persons and their caregivers. We said that we'd have this site up and running by July 1st. That's this Saturday. But today, I'm pleased to announce that this site will open and be fully operational tomorrow. That's thanks to the incredibly fast work of our city staff, in particular led by Sarah Jarman, the director of our Homelessness Strategies and Solutions Department, and the support from multiple other city departments and the staff of Dreams for Change, which will operate this particular site. Dreams for Change is no stranger to homeless services in our region. They run a very successful safe parking program in Valencia Park and provide other services to help get folks back on their feet. But this is their first contract with the City of San Diego, and I'm excited to welcome them to our family of service providers. As we open this location, we are hard at work on a second site, known as the Lot O in Balboa Park, which is just behind me, which when it's up at full capacity can accommodate 400 tents. We are on track for this site to open this fall. I want to point out that the Safe Sleeping Program is not just a safe place to sleep. It's a place for people experiencing homelessness to be connected to the services they need to get back on their feet and put them on the path toward permanent housing. Here, folks will receive meals, access to hygiene that will keep them safe from the kinds of diseases that easily spread in unsanitary encampments. The launch of our Safe Sleeping site is just the latest expansion in shelter offerings by the City of San Diego. In the last 2+ years, we've opened 7 new shelters that serve distinct local populations: women, seniors, LGBTQ youth, and folks with behavioral health challenges. Next month, we will open a new shelter in Barrio Logan, 42 private rooms exclusively for families that can accommodate up to 168 individuals. We've also expanded our safe parking lot program to 4 lots with the total space for 233 households. And by this fall, our shelters, safe parking, and safe sleeping programs will add up to more than 2,700 options for unhoused San Diegans to get off the streets and on a path to housing. Today's launch coincides with the unsafe camping ordinance the City Council approved with a final vote just yesterday. This will prohibit unsafe and unsanitary encampments in all public spaces if there's a shelter bed available or a safe sleeping space available. It also prohibits encampments in sensitive areas regardless of shelter availability. This is about preventing disease. This is about preventing canyon fires. This is about keeping unhoused people safe from the violence and exploitation of predatory drug dealers. It's about making sure that our sidewalks are passable and our parks are safe and clean. It's about making clear the expectations of this city. We are spending more than $200 million in taxpayer dollars in the coming year on homelessness and housing services, and it is reasonable and appropriate to expect that people experiencing homelessness avail themselves of the services that we are providing. I've said it once and I'll repeat it today. If there's a place for you to go, your answer cannot be no. With that, I want to introduce the council member who's been leading on both the unsafe camping ordinance as well as this new safe sleeping program in the district. He represents the district we're in this morning, City Council Member Stephen Whitburn. Council member.
Thank you very much, Mayor Gloria. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here this morning. I want to thank Mayor Gloria for providing people experiencing unsheltered homelessness with a safer, healthier, place to stay. And I thank our terrific city staff for all of their work to open this site. I have already heard from people who are currently living on our downtown sidewalks that they look forward to coming here. Everyone will benefit when people experiencing homelessness move off of our sidewalks and come to this location instead. People staying here will get a safe place to sleep, and people in our neighborhoods will get sidewalks that they can use. The Safe Sleeping Site will have many of the features of an indoor shelter. It will have bathrooms and showers and security and meals and connections to services and ultimately housing. Couples can stay here, and people can bring their pets. We've seen this work successfully in other cities. I've spoken to city leaders in Denver about it last year, and they worked with the surrounding neighborhoods to implement safe sleeping sites. And I want to thank the residents of Golden Hill who have stepped up to be a part of the solution here. We need more communities like Golden Hill and East Village and downtown to step up and be a part of the solution like they have. This safe sleeping site goes together with the unsafe camping ordinance. We're saying you can't camp on our sidewalks and in our parks, but you can come to a safer and healthier place like this. I'm fortunate to have a colleague on the City Council who is also willing to take on our city's biggest challenges, identify common sense solutions, and implement them for the benefit of his constituents and all San Diegans. I'm pleased to introduce my colleague from Council District 1, Councilmember Joe LaCava.
Thank you, Mayor Gloria. Thank you, Councilmember Whitburn, both for your leadership. I'm Joe LaCava, the council member for District 1. Representing that district, I can tell you that I consistently hear from residents who have growing concerns about the human suffering they see on our beaches, parks, and sidewalks. In 2023, I promised to act and support policies that provided pathways to housing for people experiencing homelessness. Yesterday, Council adopted the encampment ordinance, and today, here we are, announcing the opening of the first safe sleeping site. I want to thank Sarah Jarman, the Homeless Strategies and Solution Departments, and all the departments involved in developing this site in such a rapid fashion. We all agree the street is not a home. Unfortunately, for too many San Diegans, it can be their only option so far. Whether it's affordability, health, or other circumstances that leave someone without a home, families, men, women, young and old, find themselves exposed to the elements and are left with a seemingly impossible journey back to stability. I have heard the stories of why some feel the street is their only option. Shelters may not be for them or meet their needs. Perhaps the family and community they have created on the street is their safety net. But no longer. I appreciate the great lengths of the mayor's office and city staff have gone to take a real accounting of our shelter system and plan for a major expansion. Our comprehensive shelter strategy is a roadmap towards that goal, and today we are seeing the very first implementation of this strategy. Shelter does not and should not be a narrow definition. Shelter should be as diverse as the population it is serving. In response to those that have seen our current shelters as a barrier to housing, I insisted that a shelter is only considered available if it meets the unique needs of that individual. And that's what you're seeing the city rolling out. The safe sleeping site here at 20th and B is a critical part of that requirement. Here we are providing the caseworkers, restrooms, meals, and social services that can be difficult if we try to deliver them on the streets. 20th and B will instantly become part of the housing pipeline. However, that is only successful if we strengthen that housing pipeline. Last week, the mayor signed the 24 budget. We are funding tenant protections and $3 million towards eviction prevention. This is on top of rapid rehousing and shallow subsidy programs. In turn, Housing Commission's budget invests millions into new affordable housing development, and they will continue to use all available tools to increase the supply of income-restricted units. Let us be clear. First, we must stop the flow into homelessness. Second, we must move those on the street into shelters like this safe sleeping site. Third, we must move those in shelters into real and permanent housing. That is the housing pipeline. That is how we address homelessness. Today is a new day in this conversation. Success will not be measured, in my sense, in numbers, but in a renewed sense of cooperation and collaboration between elected officials, leaders, service providers, and workers and volunteers on the ground, both locally and regionally. If everyone works together in an all hands on deck approach, we will solve this problem. I am grateful for the leadership of Mayor Gloria and Councilmember Whitburn, who have taken extraordinary efforts in this regards. And I'm grateful for everyone that operates in this space. We can do no less. I join them in driving the implementation of our shelter strategy and ensuring that this is a safe and permanent exit off the street. And with that, I'm honored to introduce Robin Spencer from the East Village Association.
Hi, how are you? Thank you to Mayor Todd Gloria and his team for inviting me here to speak today. My name is Robin Spencer. I am a business owner and resident of downtown San Diego's largest neighborhood, the East Village. It's a neighborhood that has a major transportation hub and 12 educational facilities. It's a place that is rich in culture, dining, and of course, our award-winning baseball park. As a widowed mom of a teen son, our daily life is filled with unsightly views. We step over garbage, sleeping bags, and we're forced to walk into the street to go around the overreaching encampments. We are witness to inappropriate public behavior, leading to a distaste for walking around what is truly a diverse and beautiful neighborhood. This safe camping lot here at 20th and B will be a haven of relief for both the unhoused and housed. My compassion for our 1,000 plus unhoused neighbors is rooted in seeing that these folks of every age, race, and background have options. Options to say yes to moving out of unsafe and unsanitary conditions of their current dwelling, that is the streets. Our sidewalks downtown are riddled with human feces, broken down furniture, torn clothing, used needles, ultimately creating an unsightly, unhealthy, and undesirable section of our city. Encampments ward off customers to our businesses. Most importantly, in East Village, it does take away and impact our opportunities to host thriving community events where neighbors can come down out of their buildings. They can mix and mingle and enjoy the area that they have that is so rich in culture and thriving. The opening of this lot tomorrow at 20th and B is a welcomed addition offering real help where one can safely and legally live for a temporary situation in city-provided clean tents with direct accesses to the services that they need to change their circumstances. The assistance required to lead them down the pathway to a more permanent housing solution, as Councilmember LaCava outlined. This lot will prove to be a replicable model, moving folks from inappropriate spaces and places to an appropriate environment, bridging the gap from crisis situation to permanency, freeing up our corridors and sidewalks to create a vibrant downtown and overall city of San Diego. With that, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Manny Rodriguez. He is head of the Downtown Community Planning Council.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Manny Rodriguez, and I'm the chair of the Downtown Community Planning Council, the planning group for downtown San Diego. I want to thank the mayor and our hardworking city staff for making these safe sleeping sites a reality. As an East Village resident, I see every day the acute crises on our streets. That is why I'm happy the city will be providing my unsheltered neighbors the opportunity to camp somewhere that is secure, has sanitation services, and supportive services. On the sidewalk, I see firsthand how folks camping on the street get preyed upon. They get their stuff stolen, they get harassed, and the lack of sanitation facilities makes them severely ill. That is why I want to thank the mayor, Councilmember Whitburn, and City Council for making this a reality. Here at 20th and B and the upcoming O-Lot, my unsheltered neighbors will have the opportunity to camp somewhere that has restrooms, that has sanitation services, facilities, and supportive services. The Downtown Community Planning Council was happy to have endorsed this effort. Downtown will continue to do its part to remedy the housing shortage that led us to this situation in the first place. Downtown has the most deed-restricted affordable housing out of any other neighborhood in San Diego, and it's building much more deed-restricted affordable housing than any other neighborhood in San Diego. We welcome housing, we welcome affordable housing, and we welcome intermediate solutions like these that keep our unsheltered neighbors safe while that housing is being built. Thank you again to the mayor and our hardworking city staff for making this a reality.
So that's good. It's tourists who are leaving money behind to help pay for all this. So that's That's good. We welcome them to town. Manny and Robin, thank you so much for your comments and helping to provide, I think, a neighborhood perspective on this particular issue, and I appreciate your support for this homelessness solution. I want to be rapid and wrap this up because we have some porta potties being delivered and we have some more tents to set up, but we're looking forward to opening this facility to unsheltered individuals tomorrow, with additional facilities coming online soon. I want to point out that the rapid deployment of this particular facility, as I mentioned before, are directly attributable to the incredible work of our Homelessness Strategies and Solutions Department, a department that I was pleased to help develop and initiate soon after I became mayor. That group is led, as I mentioned before, by Sarah Jarman. James Carter, the deputy director for that department, is here this morning. There is. James, thank you to you and your entire HSSD team. We have many folks here: Kyle, John, Tanya, Tony, Leticia, Oscar, and Portia. But this is a full city effort. It's not just HSSD, but it's also our purchasing and contracting department that was able to bring Dreams for Change on as a service provider. Our general services department is led by Mashuria Little, our interim director, as well as Hal and Alberto are here, and some other folks from general services. So thank you guys for what you've done. And last but certainly not least, the Dream Team, our Department of Real Estate and Airport Management. Penny Moss, the director, and Lucy Contreras, the deputy director, are here. These are just some of the city components that all work together. It really is complicated, but everyone set aside every other priority to get this done quickly, and I want to see more of this going forward. And that's where I maybe would just conclude. I think Councilmember Whitburn said it correctly, and I think Manny and Robin got to it as well. We have communities that are contributing solutions. I'm deeply grateful to the people of downtown for being a part of the solution. I'm grateful to Councilmember LaCava, who's always been in this fight and willing to find solutions and advance them. I want to point out that other communities can do this as well, particularly other cities in this county. San Diego is only one of 18 cities in this county, but it is certainly shouldering the vast majority of the burden when it comes to providing homeless services and solutions. This particular lot, there's nothing magical about it. There are lots like this in every other city in this county, and all of them are capable of doing something like this if they want to. And I highly encourage them to do so. We have a crisis in this, not just City of San Diego, not just in the county of San Diego or the state of California. This is a national crisis. It's an all hands on deck moment. You've seen what all hands on deck can do in standing this up in basically a couple of weeks' time. Imagine if these other communities were similarly dedicated to solving this problem rather than simply displacing folks into the city of San Diego. So I hope other mayors will step up. Hope other city council members will do their part. I hope that other cities will start providing solutions. That's how we can drastically reduce the number of people living on our streets and sidewalks. I don't think the average San Diegan particularly cares if that person is on the city of San Diego side of the city boundary or the national city side of the city boundary. They want that person housed. Every city can do this, and every city better get on it now. City of San Diego stepping up, and I ask other folks to join us. With that said, I'm happy to we'll take questions one-on-one, but appreciate everyone being here, and let's get back to work. Let's get this site going because we got another one across the street to get underway soon too. Thank you all for being here today.